guys, it's Adria and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button down below if you'd like to, and join the panda family. We would love to have you. We're some pretty great people, just saying. So for today's video, I am going to be starting a brand new series here on my channel called, why did I just draw a blank? Called Adria's Advice. I took some messages on my Twitter, so if you don't follow me, all of my social media is in the description. If you see this video and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to ask you something, maybe you could help me with something, shoot me a DM on Twitter. Make like the first few words like Adria's Advice so that I see it. I'm excited for this series because I do get a lot of DMs asking for advice, and I was like, you know, I could turn this into like a video series. I will definitely keep you anonymous. I won't say your name or anything. This is just my advice. You don't have to take it. You can totally throw what I say in the trash. It's fine. But I'm just gonna be saying what I think you should do, or just my feels on any topics you give me or want advice on. So let's just jump into this. Let's slide into my own DMs. This first one says, me and my best friend of 7 years and I have parted ways, and now she is very sick and I blame myself. What do I do? So I actually wanted to do a whole video about friendships and everything because I feel like there is so much to be said about falling outs and not really having friends. I mean, I personally don't really have a whole ton of friends right now. My circle is very small. If an old friend of mine suddenly became very sick, I would feel bad for not keeping in touch with them. There was a time a few years ago that not a super close friend of mine, but someone I knew committed suicide, and I felt so guilty about that. I felt maybe like I should have reached out to her or been there for her more, and I wish I would have been a closer friend. So really, in a way, I did kind of blame myself, even though I knew it wasn't my fault. I wish I just could have done something more. It is totally normal to want to blame yourself when people get sick, when something bad happens. Recently, I found out that my dog Gracie, who lives with my Nana, may need her eyes removed, and I just felt so guilty about that. I felt like it was my fault. It's so easy to want to put blame on people. At the end of the day, acknowledge that, you know, this is what's happening. There's nothing we can really do about it now. We just have to work with what we have now. So your friend being sick is not your fault. You guys not being friends anymore isn't what made her sick. So I would definitely say to reach out to her. If you guys were good friends for 7 years, I know that she would love to hear from you. I know that I would love to hear from somebody that I was friends with for a while. Even if we haven't talked in years, if someone reached out to me and was like, hey, like, I'm thinking of you, I'm rooting for you, I'm praying for you, that would make me feel so good. That's just how people are. We like that feeling of somebody just reaching out, having our back, you know, just being there, just saying like, hey, I'm thinking of you. That's enough to make somebody's day. It really is. You may not think they'll care, you may think they'll ignore it, and even if they do, you know, that's whatever, but at least try, and it'll make you feel good. You'll be like, oh wow, my friend, yeah. We don't really know how much time we have with people. You know, it's good to not waste time, and if you really care about her, then you should reach out to her. If they don't take that olive branch that you've extended, don't blame yourself. Don't feel bad about that. You know, it may be a personal thing. Maybe they're just not feeling it right now. I know that's happened to me. People have reached out to me, and I've been in moods where I just don't want to talk to anyone, and it's not personal. So just know sometimes things aren't personal. It's just circumstantial, I guess. Okay, so this next message says, okay, so like, what do you do when you say something you regret to someone you love or care about? Is there anything you really can do besides apologize? Panda hugs. Recently, I was talking to my Nana on FaceTime, and she told me that she found this old letter that I wrote to her. She didn't know what specifically it was about, but I guess I had misbehaved or something, did something I shouldn't have, said something I shouldn't have. I wrote her this long letter. I think she said it was a few pages of just pouring my heart out to her and just how bad I felt and how sorry I was. We can just apologize. We can just say we're sorry. But I do think that most times actions speak louder than words. I think that if you're really sorry to somebody, that you will show it and you will change. I know whenever I've been sorry about something, deeply sorry, to where it has affected me and I felt guilty about it, it has made me change to be a better person and not repeat that, because, you know, we don't want to repeat these negative feelings. I mean, you could do what I did to my Nana as an apology and just write a letter, just spill out your feelings onto paper, get your feelings out in front of you, because it's easier than trying to speak sometimes. I know sometimes when I try to explain myself out loud, it just doesn't come out the way it should. You know, sometimes you really can get all of the words you want to say out on a piece of paper, that can be helpful. Saying something you regret, it's one of the few things that you just can't take back and you can't change and you can't really, you know, undo it. Because once you say something, it's out there forever. That's really kind of a scary thing. You know, words are weapons and we have to be careful with what we say. There have been so many times that, you know, somebody has done something to hurt me and I've just wanted to retaliate and just say horrible things to them, but I just remind myself like that, like I don't want to do that. I don't want to say that because I know how bad it feels later on. Sometimes I think about like the mean things I've said to people I care about and I'm just like, why? So now I'm so much more conscientious of the words I use and what I say, and if I'm so tempted to just spew words of hate, I just zip. As hard as it is sometimes, it's almost easier nowadays how a lot of our communication is over social media. It's easy to just click away from it. You know, it's kind of tempting to reply, but just remember that actions do speak louder than words. You know, you can say you're sorry 50,000 times, but if you don't really change your ways or what you do, it doesn't, you know, what does sorry really mean? Sorry is just a word. You really do have to show somebody that you're willing to do better and you want to change and you don't want to make them feel that way ever again. So this last one for today says, Adria, I know you may not see this, but lately I've been really depressed. I've been trying to stay strong, but so many times I have been so close to self-harming again. I don't know why. It's just all coming back, all the thoughts, all the self-hate. I need advice. I don't know what to do. I don't know how much longer I can stay strong. Also, advice on how to deal with anxiety is much needed. I guess there was like a tornado. I'm fine, but 5 of my friends lost their house and everything they had. I feel like everything is going wrong, even if it's not for me, just nothing is going right. I feel like no one would miss me if I died. Those people who died were probably happy with their life. Couldn't it have took me instead, so this all could just be over? Okay, wow. So first of all, I just want to say I'm so sorry about your friends and your neighbors that lost their homes from a tornado. That is just so scary and unfortunate. I can relate to when bad things happen, feeling like why didn't that happen to me? Why did that happen to a good person? Sometimes I feel like I do deserve like bad things to happen to me. I guess what I remind myself is that everyone has their own struggles, and even though theirs may seem worse to you, everybody has their own struggle to deal with. And you know, though some may seem more trivial than others, something not so bad to where something may be devastating, everyone has their own thing that they're going through, and it's important to remember that somebody else's pain isn't your fault. You know, I want to blame myself when bad things happen to other people. I want to be like, you know, like, could I have prevented this? Could I have done something? But it's important to remember that you are just one person. You know, you can't, you know, prevent tragic things from happening, everyday things from happening. Your life is so valuable and so important. There have been so many circumstances that could have made my life worse or ended my life altogether, but for whatever reason, I am still here. And that's what you have to remind yourself, is like, for some reason I am still here. I look at that as a gift. That's why they call it the present. Each day really is a gift, and we have to make the most of what we have. It's so funny because, you know, you'll see people that, you know, maybe have a disability or are homeless or something, and yet they're so positive, and you're just like, how? Like, I don't know what I would do in their situation. It's because people learn to adapt and press on and move forward and think of the future and know that right now isn't forever. People like that inspire me. You know, like I see people that like battle cancer and are just so positive, and I just think to myself, like, I don't know if I would be able to hold on like that. Would I be able to be that positive? When tough times come, we think of our next move and we keep going. Sometimes you really feel like you don't deserve very much, but there is only one you in this world. There's only one. Okay, even if you're an identical twin, my sisters are identical twins. They are 2 completely separate people, and they have identical DNA. So think of how different you are from all the billions of people in the world. You know, you only get one shot. They say YOLO. YOLO, you only live once. You only get one shot at this life. There are things in my life that I wish, you know, could have been different, could have not happened. Would I be the same person I am right now had they not happened? Negative things make some great people. You know, you see the best people come out of poor circumstances. It's a victory, it's a story, it's exciting, it's inspiring, it's great. I mean, even just think of like a book or a movie. You know, there's always a problem in the middle. There's always some kind of chaos, a bad thing happening. There's always a resolution. solution to the problem, a lesson learned. There's always something. So your life is a story. Whether 5 people hear it or thousands of people hear it, everybody has a story. And you don't want to cut yours short. And you don't want to leave it at a cliffhanger, girl. You don't want to cancel the season midway through. Like, girl, no, we got to keep going. We have to see the end. What happens next? If we give up, we'll never know. You know, believe me, I still have days where I feel depressed and, you know, self-loathing and, oh my gosh, I hate myself, I hate my life. I let myself feel that for the time because I think it's important to let your feelings out and feel the way you're gonna feel, because it's not good to suppress stuff either. I like to make decisions and, you know, think not out of emotion, because sometimes you can think some crazy things when you're emotional. So once I've gathered myself, I start to think, what can my next move be? What can I do now? Even just when I wake up, like, what can I do today to have a better day? Life has a weird way of working itself out. And just remember one of my favorite quotes ever, nobody wants happiness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. In any circumstance, no matter what you're going through, one of my favorite quotes ever, everybody wants happiness, nobody wants pain, but you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. I love you guys, and take care of yourselves. Just know that your life is a gift and you are so precious and you matter to me. And even though I may not know you personally in real life, your viewership, your support, you know, you have an impact on me. Not only the world, but on me. So thank you for just being alive, being a person. Thank you for just existing. I'm corny. So I hope that this video was helpful today. If you enjoyed, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and give your feedback to any of these questions down in the comments. If you have anything to contribute, if you have some words of wisdom, we would all love to hear that. I want to use my platform to help as many of you as I possibly can, and even though I may not always have the right thing to say, everybody has a different thing to contribute to a conversation, so. And answer the poll up in the corner. Do you like this series so far, even though it's only been one video? Do you like this? Do you think that I should continue doing this? Definitely feel free to send me a DM. First word of the DM being in all caps, Adria's advice, so that I know it's an advice message, and maybe I will answer it in an upcoming advice video. You can find me on all my social media down below. I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. I love you guys. Bye!